Hello and welcome to MGTracey. So Tracy and I are OralB old toothbrushes are not really holding the charge anymore, so we've realised it's actually time to go for the new one. Tracy's gone for the pink one with the case and I've gone for this OralB Pro one. Now the only really significant difference to the ones of 5 years ago is that you've got a bit of a pressure sensor on the neck now. So one of the problems that was coming up in the earlier days of electric toothbrushes, people were pushing too hard and that causes your gums to recede, which is a major problem. So we're going to open both these boxes. I've been to the hygienist today, so with my help of my friend here, Jaws, I'm going to show you how you need to clean. And rather surprisingly, these alone are probably for most people not going to be enough. You are going to want another toothbrush as well, but I'll explain that later on in the video. Right, we'll start by opening the Pro 3. There you have got a very nice case there. And actually it's got spaces, look, for some spare heads as well, which are in there. Now you can buy much cheaper heads on Amazon, a fraction of the price of the OralB ones. I don't think there's actually any difference. I think a little bit what you've got going on here is OralB make their money by selling you the heads. They don't make an awful lot of money from the actual units themselves. So if we compare that to the one before, it's very similar. It's actually a bit longer, but very similar. Now here in the UK we have an unusual setup in that our bathroom plugs have a different fitting, almost look like an European or American plug, but they're not, to the rest of the plugs that you normally have in the UK, and that's to stop people plugging in if there is a socket in the bathroom. You know, in all those horror movies where someone plugs in an iron or a hairdryer and then chucks it into the poor person in the bath. So in the UK we have a different plug, and you actually have to find an adapter to get that to plug that into a wall, which is a bit annoying. Right, let's just put that on. If you've not used these before, you'll find they come with little coloured discs, which if you've got lots of people using the same electric type of toothbrushes, then you can put your own colour on. Now everyone seems to recommend changing these every couple of months. Like I say, you can either buy the official ones, they're a lot of money, or there are lots of copies on Amazon that to me seem to be just as good. Now with the Pro, when you push the button, different things happen. So you get basically 3 different settings. So you've got half the speed there, and then one that builds up. I don't know whether that actually gives you any cleaner teeth. I mean, definitely using these type of toothbrushes compared to just manual on its own, it definitely gets your teeth cleaner. But one of the things I've learned as you get older, there's a lot more to looking after your teeth than whizzing around with your toothbrush twice a day. In my case, I have to use 2 types of brush. I certainly have to floss twice a day. As you get older, you tend to get more gaps between your teeth. And I also use a mouthwash as well to try and help hang on to my teeth. So anyway, that is the Pro, and obviously for charging it does take quite a while, so I tend to do it overnight. It just docks like that. It's a whole waterproof system. I think it's called induction how it does it, but you just have that like that, and just leave it overnight, and it will charge up nicely, and that tends to last you 2 to 4 weeks depending how much time you spend on it. So the other feature you've got on the newer brushes, which for many people it is useful, is a warning light if you're pushing too hard, and this is how this works. You can see that light coming on. So if you push too hard, 1, it decelerates, but 2, it warns you. And that's definitely something that hygienists are talking about. They've obviously discovered a lot of people with receding gums. It's been caused by over-enthusiastic teeth cleaning. So that's the gist of the Pro 3. We'll now have a quick look at the Pro 1. These are right at the cheaper end of these models. I'll put the links below. I mean, if you want to spend huge amounts of money, just as with razors you can, they'll Bluetooth to your phone, they'll have animations on your phone that show you where you missed your teeth. Good God, it's not that difficult, is it? You know, you take 30 seconds on each quadrant. So if you imagine divide a jaws here into 4, you want to spend 30 seconds on each bit twice a day, and it's about getting the angle of the brush right. More of that later on. Okay, so here's my new one. So I've gone for boy blue. There we go. I don't get the lovely Pro 3 exclusive design travel case. I just have to rough it and put it in all the other stuff. Obviously I've got another charger, and I've got the brush here that we need to fit on as well. And a little ring here again. Put on the end there, and then my one goes on like that. There we go. So they are. That's pretty much the same unit. It's a slightly different angle on this one. This is, I say, a cheaper version. This one has some lights here that tell you when you need to charge it, but obviously it starts going slow, you'll know, and how full your battery is. I have one setting on this, unlike the Pro 3 that has 3 different settings. So I've cleaned my teeth and not cleaned my teeth. Right, let's go into best practice of how to use them, how to keep your teeth alive. So with the friend of Jaws here, I'm showing you the best practice now for using electric toothbrush. It's different really, I think, to what they show you in the adverts. Now the bit you're trying to concentrate on most is actually the bit here. So it's the piece between the gum and the tooth. That is your most vulnerable area, where plaque will just nip underneath the gum line, and that will cause you gum disease, bleeding, or actually damage the tooth. Once you've put the paste on, and they all say a pea-size amount, don't turn it on till it's in your mouth because you splatter it all over the wall. So here we go, you'll just be going along the top here. Remember, for each quadrant here you're spending 30 minutes, and then inside each individual tooth, going like this. And actually, once you've done it, you should feel, when you put your tongue over it, that they feel different. But then make sure you go along at 45 degrees of that gum line. Now for me, that doesn't work well enough, so I don't know whether it's my gums or whether the electric toothbrush is a bit too fine, but my hygienist said to get a manual brush, and then just to, this is really fine filaments, it looks like a comedy brush really, and then to just get in between there, between the tooth and the gum, and that's made a big difference because I've been having some problems with inflamed gums and a bit of bleeding when I floss. And yes, as you get older you have to spend an awful lot more time looking after your blessed teeth than when you're young. As somebody once said in the film, only clean the teeth you want to keep. I think it might be Ricky Gervais actually, and that's very true. That's very true. So that's the key bit of this, you know. Then you go on to your next quadrant here, up and down there, and on the biting surfaces, on the outer surfaces, the inner surfaces, and then whiz round again slowly where you'd get between the teeth and the gum. And that in all will take you just over 2 minutes to do. And they say you need to do that twice a day. If you can build in a mouthwash midday, that's definitely going to help you. And you probably need to floss twice a day as well, which most people don't do, and that's where a lot of decay comes from. It's not actually from the biting surfaces, it's because no matter how good this brush is, it's not reaching right in between the teeth there. Only a little bit of the floss is really going to get right in there. So that's probably another minute you could add into your teeth cleaning regime there to get hold of that. So anyway, I'll put all the links below. I won't put the links below for jaws there, but I'll put the links below for all the OralB. I say I'm an older bloke, I have some problems with bleeding gums, so I tend to use Sensodyne. I've not been incentivised or paid by anybody for this video. This is just bits and pieces of advice I've picked up and learnt, particularly with the help of my hygienist. And if you are having problems, then you might find your hygienist suggests that you add in a soft brush. Not on its own, because it just will not do as well as the electric toothbrush, but just to get that gum line really sorted. Hope you found that useful. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio.